Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me, my boy Monocle, aka Leon. How you doing, Leon?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to be back.
Good to be back. The salt level is high, man. I'm pretty salty. I'll go into why in a while, but first things first, man. I know you're a big music fan, Leon. I am too. Mr. David Bowie passed away. Very sad news.
Very sad news. A genuine British genius.
Yep, musical legend.
Gutted. Yeah, gutted.
Yep. R.I.P. man. Condolences to his family.
Absolutely.
Moving on. Leon, Happy New Year, man. I hope your New Year Christmas period was good.
Yeah, good, nice and rested. Didn't talk too much boxing. Didn't follow too much boxing news.
Yo, it's weird, you know.
Boxing pods, but that was about it.
Yo, we're big boxing fans, but it was nice to have a bit of a break, man.
It's nice because I've listened to a few other pods and it's been, you know, they've got nothing. It's been difficult for them to have something to talk about over the last couple of weeks. So I'm glad we took a little rest, rested up, built up our salt levels.
Sodium is at a high.
Absolutely.
Right, Leon, I'm going to get into it straight away. First things first, like, you know, our fan base is fucking excellent, but odd time we get people saying, oh, you're too negative or you're too salty, which I understand because we are, but that's only because, you know, we're hardcore fans, we love the sport. And for me at the moment, my biggest issue is some of these fights being made and talked about for the early part of 2016. It's just, it's not good enough, man. Like, I know Pacquiao Bradley 3 was rumoured before, you know, we took a little hiatus and it got confirmed while we were away. But it's a shit fight, man. It's like Pacquiao, it could possibly be Pacquiao's last fight. And why do we need to watch him fight Bradley again?
Yeah, I agree with you. But, you know, if you compare it to some of the other fights that have been announced, it's a good fight, isn't it? I mean, that's the problem. I mean, all the other fights that have been announced since then have made that look like a good fight. Because at least it's a number 1 guy versus a number 3 or 4 guy. It should have been made to look bad, and no one's taken advantage of it. And they've just, you know, let's be honest, that Crawford-Lundy fight is the other big announcement. That's an easy win.
Yeah, we were just talking off air. Like, I'm a big fan of Crawford. I know I kind of jumped on the bandwagon a bit after Daniel Lim did, but you know, I gave him a pass to fight Derry Jean because that was a shit fight. And why does he really need to fight, you know, Hammer and Hank? Like, Delorme already beat Hank, you know?
Exactly.
It's an unnecessary fight for me. I know Bob Arum's trying to say, well, you know, they offered it Herrera, he turned it down. They offered it a few other people, they turned it down. Took a shot at Al Heyman saying, you know, Heyman's paying these oppositions too much money, so these boxers are asking for too much. But that's your problem, man. Don't give a shit. Like, pay the guys more. Then I know it's an industry and you don't want to fucking overpay, but you kind of have your back against the wall now.
Well, you've got a potential star that you're not willing to back. That's what it sounds like to me. And it's, you know, if we've let people and other places have criticised who's Golovkin beat and various other fighters, but Crawford's resume has taken a dip, hasn't he? What's his best win? Is Gamboa, would you say? Gamboa and Burns?
Yeah, Burns coming over to Scotland, I think that was a really good win, even though like Burns had like declined since, but at the time that was a pretty big win coming over to Scotland.
Yeah, and beating Gamboa, even though he come up a weight division, and then he's fought not nobodies, but he's fought fights that we all expected him to win since.
Yeah, like the fights afterwards, I was never concerned that he was going to lose him. Like, I knew he was going to beat Beltran. The Lomé fight, I thought it would be a bit closer. I didn't think he'd like stop him in that fashion. But the Derry Jean fight, I knew that was fucking what it was from the start, to be honest.
The Delorme fight I have no problem with because he's a big guy, he's awkward, and it's your first fight at 140. What we can't be happy with is then Jean and Lundy. And it's not in some sense, it's not their fight. If they're getting offered it, they're going to take it, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah.
But who else are they offering? I don't believe Bob Arum offered that to hardly anyone. I don't expect he went after any difficult fight.
I think Herrera would have took
money.
that, man. Herrera, if they would have offered decent money to Herrera, they would have took it. So I'm thinking Bob Arum's either lying or he's offering really shit money.
Herrera isn't going to go into another one of those fights knowing that he's a big underdog in a fight, as well as everything's against him. You know, he's going to lose it on the cards, whatever happens, almost, it feels like. So, of course, you've got to pay him.
Yep.
You've got to pay him to take his beating, almost. At least they, with some, Triple G and some of Kovalev's guys, at least they've paid those guys to get some of them in the ring. But, it's not a very deep division, though, is it, 140? I mean, did they say they offered it to Siberian Rocky?
Yeah, Arum said that in his statement, but even that, it's hard to kind of believe Arum sometimes. I think Ruslan would have took that fight, to be honest, if it was decent money, because he's kind of on the decline as well. He needs a big win to kind of put him back into a decent position. Yeah,
exactly. So you'd think then that, it's still Ruslan. You can easily outbox him, but he's always dangerous, isn't he? So I feel like they might not have even offered it to him, because I don't think he would want. HBO don't want to put their guy in with Ruslan again, because look what he did to Bradley.
Yeah.
He will hurt you, and look what he did to Matisse. He will take something from everyone he fights, apart from Herrera. Did Herrera fight him? Didn't he?
Yeah, he lost to Herrera.
Yeah. But he always takes a bit of you, doesn't he, with him? So I wouldn't want that fight for Crawford. I mean, I would as a fan, but as Bob Arum, I wouldn't want that fight for Crawford yet.
Yep. And as we were talking off air as well, what's the biggest fight in the next few months, realistically, Leon?
Quick Frampton by a long distance.
And, small weight division, super bantamweight, and it's really a domestic fight, really, isn't it?
It is, but they're top guys, they're top 5 guys, whatever everyone says about Quigg, he's top 5 in that division, and it's not the deepest division, but I mean, let's be honest, who's not excited about that fight?
No, I'm excited about it, but the reason I said domestic, I'm just saying, we're going to be high, but on that week, other podcasts will probably name their show something else.
No, I don't think they would try that one. But that's a world fight. But I know what you mean. It's what's the big fight from across the pond for us to get excited about?
Exactly.
There isn't one yet.
And really, it's up until April, like you're saying, isn't it? Pacquiao, Bradley 3. That's the main one for now.
This year, and this is again, we're going to be accused of being insulty, but this year could very, very quickly go to shit.
And I don't want it to either, man. I don't want it to happen, because the last 2 years has been shit. But I totally agree. If they don't start making decent matchups for mid-year and mid to end of year, then because I'm already slowly writing off the start of the year, because there's nothing really there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that much of a problem with Pacquiao, Bradley. Especially now, looking at what we've got coming up.
See, I'm surprised, I thought you would be more salty about that fight.
But I don't know what else. Okay, so if it's not Crawford, right? So say Crawford is out, Pacquiao Crawford is not going to happen. Who else would you rather him for? He could fight. He could fight.
It sounds really daft, but I would have preferred him just to retire, because I think they're recycling these guys now. It's just not even a case of making the best fights. It's about let's get one more fight out of him. Let's make a bit more money out of him. And to me, that's not boxing anymore. That's just fucking business. So I'd rather he would have just retired after Mayweather, and then maybe it could open Bradley going over to PBC or something and getting decent fights, because Bradley's stuck over there on his own. He's got no one to fight. That's the only reason why this fight's happened.
But for Bradley, imagine Bradley does legitimately beat Pacquiao, and then he's nearly very close to being out of his contract with Bob Arum. He's laughing, isn't he? He goes over there and gets big money.
True, but I can't see it being Pacquiao, to be honest, even with the fireman speeches.
I don't know. We don't know, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that, but it's not the worst fight. You know, especially if everyone's going to get excited about Porter versus Furman that's supposedly happening. You know, is that a better fight? Really, on paper, that's the same, isn't it? But everyone's super hyped for it because they haven't seen it before, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a better fight because it's the unknowns. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Porter's obviously only lost.
But Porter's the worst of those four, isn't he?
Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah. I would pick those three to beat Porter.
Yeah.
Pacquiao beat Porter. Yeah. So, but you know, again, with what have we got to? We've got like 3 or 4 fights to discuss, and that's all we've got for the first 3 months of the year. I mean, we've got Kovalev. We all tune in to see if Kovalev actually does kill Pacquiao.
Even that though, Leon, it's like
it's a murder, isn't it?
It's an unnecessary fight. Like the first one wasn't competitive for me.
No, it was fun.
That's because Kovalev's got no one else to fight, and it's a big money fight.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see Kovalev, and at least you know Pacquiao's going to bring it, so that could be a good 3 or 4 rounds.
Do you think he stops him a lot earlier this time?
I think he wants to hurt. You know, everything suggests that he really wants to hurt him, so I can see him, but he's got to be careful because no one's 100% sure about that chin, are they?
No, but I'm pretty confident in it, to be honest.
Yeah, I just know he's just an assassin. He's too good, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's too as an offensive force. He's one of the best.
Yeah, if you hit that hard, you don't have to really worry about what's coming back too much.
Nah, because Pacquiao knows he's scared already.
Yeah, the fact that you give him a beat down in the first fight, like that's gonna stay with you for life.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Kovalev, Pacquiao, Bradley, and Quigg Frampton, and maybe Furman Porter as the 4 biggest fights of the first 4 months. Are we saying?
Yeah, and like Wasif saying in the chat, shout out to my boy Wasif.
Always in the chat.
Yeah, always. Brook Khan needs to happen. I think Khan's in a desperate situation now where he hung around for so long and he wasted a couple years, and he needs the Brook fight more than Brook needs Khan now.
Yeah, but why can't Khan go? It's not like there's enough people over in that. He could get a fight.
It's like everyone wants easy fights these days. Like, you know, Porter Khan's a good fight. Thurman Khan's a good fight, but
Thurman Khan is a great fight.
None of this shit's getting made though. That's the problem. Like Garcia Khan rematch is a good fight. Thurman Garcia is a good fight. Porter Garcia is a good fight. You know, like there's loads of good fights out there.
Yeah, but I think Khan desperately needs that Brook fight. But Brook's got Bizier problems, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Jesus,
you know,
Christ.
I'm not going to shit on that fight because obviously it's a mandatory, but Brook really had a shit year last year, you know. He fought Jojo Dan, then he fought...
Which we passed again because it's meant...
Yeah, we passed that one, but then we shot on the Gavin fight because we were presuming that we're going to get a bigger fight in the end of the year, which was... the Chavez fight was lined up, but then he got injured, so he fought twice and both were crappy opposition, so what can you really take from that?
Yeah.
It's hard to give him any props, man. You know, I'm the last person to like try and find positive things to say about shit.
No. If you think about it as well, if they're saying that the fight Brook versus what's his name, Bam Bam Rios fell apart over gloves, and then you saw what Bradley did to him, then it's a huge missed opportunity because whatever gloves Rios would have worn, Brook would have beaten him, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could have got that fight should have been made. Eddie Hearn did a horrible job.
Nah, he's not going to pay that much money to Rios though. Come on.
I know, but it's still a name. It's still like, it's gone backwards horribly for him.
No,
it really has. He had him and Khan between them both had a terrible year last year. So they owe it to themselves and us to make that fight happen.
Just interestingly, like, who do you think had a worse year? Out of the two, out of Khan and Brook, who do you think had a worse year?
Brook, because Algieri's a better win than the other two.
Even though he didn't look good.
Even though he struggled.
Yeah.
But we probably underestimated Algeria a bit, and Algeria's not easy to beat, but I still thought, it was still a bad night for Khan because he was getting walked down in places, but
yeah.
Jojo, Dan and Gavin do not equal Algeria.
That's a great point, yeah.
Yeah. I think we've all got a lot more respect for Algeria from that fight, I think everyone came away going, yeah, I liked.
Yeah, because,
really his performance, and I liked his next fight as well against Bone.
Yeah, because after the Pacquiao fight, he became a bit of a laughing stock, didn't he? Especially with his trainers, like infamous out the cage remarks, and that kind of became a big, Twitter kind of joke and Instagram joke. So it was good to see like Algeria come back, man, because he does seem like a genuine nice guy.
But it's kind of one of those things. The kickboxer gets beaten by Pacquiao. He could have quit, right, and taken money and run away.
Yeah,
because he is come from another. And I really respected his decision to change his coach and go with an offensive coach. And yeah, I think he'd done well. And that loss to Khan did him a lot of credit, I think.
Yeah, he came out of that fight looking better than Khan.
Exactly.
It's weird how a loss can do that, and how a win. You can beat someone, but you can look shit. And you can lose to someone and you can look good. That's one of the things I love about boxing.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Because people take L's as like a bad thing, but it's not always a bad thing. As long as you perform well, it's not an issue. You can get big fights again.
The L thing is a new thing, Cam. When we first, not like we're super old, but when I first started watching boxing, no one gives a shit about the L.
Yeah.
Is it? Because if you were in a good fight against a good guy,
that was the most important thing. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how you got paid.
And then that's how you get paid for your next fight. You set up your next fight.
Yeah, and you got paid for taking a risk. And now you just everyone's on the defensive, aren't they, trying to protect? Like you said, that's why Khan hasn't fought anyone. And I'm not saying, I'm saying old Khan, when he first started, he would have just gone after all the big guys to get to Mayweather. But the kind of new as time's gone on, he's changed, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And they're all a bit like that, these guys. I mean, I think, to be fair to Porter, I feel like Porter will fight anyone. And it worries me that Furman's been a bit sketchy on this deal.
Yeah, but you have to respect them, and he's the PBC Fighter of the Year, Leon. Come on.
That's some bullshit. We all know that's some Gavin, what's the name? Not Gavin McDonald, Jamie McDonald's title, that is.
That is true.
Two best wins of the year on that.
That is true.
Place. Yeah.
I was surprised they give that to Thurman, man, because it just seems...
They're just trying to build that star, aren't
it
they?
just sounded like a plastic award, man. Oh, shit, let's just give it to Thurman.
Yeah.
But
it's nonsense. It was a trinket. It was like a kid winning something on a kid's TV show on Saturday morning. It didn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? It's a trinket. Bullshit.
That's a great analogy. Like, just going back to what you were saying, like people trying to get easy fights and easier position. Mr. Andre Ward, man, like he's probably the definition of that at the moment. That last guy who tried to fight got rejected. There was talks with Barrera. I don't think that fight's been made yet.
And Barrera called him out, didn't he, on Twitter?
Yeah, it's just a shame, man, because he's so talented. He would beat most of these guys with one arm tied behind his back, but it's a shame that they're trying to look for the easiest opposition. I know it's his first fight at 175, but fuck, man, he could beat fucking top 10, top 5 guys at 175. Yeah. No, not top 5, maybe top 10. In his first fight. So it's a shame, man. It's a shame that like these guys are trying to duck and dive and get easy fights.
My thing is I can't get a handle on him. Like I can't work out why he's making the moves he's making. Because he's in his prime, and he knows he's good. Why does he need these fights? Unless the injury that he's had a couple of shoulder injuries, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Unless it's worse. Then we all believe it is, and they're worried it's going to break down.
That's actually
and if that breaks
theory.
down versus Kovalev, he might kill you.
That's a good theory. Maybe his injuries are worse than they actually have been reported.
Well, it would make sense that why you would be wanting to test the water.
It would. No, that would.
Because otherwise, it doesn't make any sense.
No, you're right. No, you're right. That is a great theory. But I hate Andre Ward, so let's stop talking about it.
No. I just want him, if he takes... Do you know what? He has the potential if he takes the fights that we want and all the other podcasts want and all the people out in boxing internet world, if he took those fights that we want him to have and he won them, no one would say anything. He would be best fighter in the world, end of, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And he could do it in 18 months and retire and everyone go, that's one of the best fighters of all time, potentially.
Yep, I agree to that.
Let's get on with it. He could be out of here. He could retire in 2 years.
Yeah. Two big fights a year. 2 years, he's done. Yep.
Because he's not going to learn anything. That's the thing with him. He's so talented. He's not going to learn anything from taking these soft touches. So it must be about the physical shape, I think.
Yep. I was gonna give a Creed reference then, but in case people haven't seen the film, I won't say it because it might be a spoiler. So.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's not out in the UK yet, is it?
No, I think it's out next week or something, isn't it?
That's shit, man. It's like a month after the US. That's very poor. But let's have a little break, Leon. Let's talk about the Prediction League. We have to give some props to them.
We have to crown a new champ.
Exactly. We have to lay the belt on the shoulders of the new champion. Moment 10, congratulations, my brother. You dominated majority of the season, and you are our champion. So congratulations to you, Moment 10. Yep. And
well done, mate. Well done.
Leon, you met TBE Chef when we were at the Eubank Saunders fight, and it's a shame because I turned a casual fan into a hardcore fan, and he's beat me in the Prediction League. That's pretty shit, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Unless you're like the Obi-Wan character.
That's true.
Passing on the high skills,
the knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my boy TBE,
and you
Chef,
lay down for him. You lay down for him, Cam. You took it.
Yeah, exactly.
So he could do well.
Exactly. My boy TBE Chef was in second place in season 3, 2015 of the Prediction League. Yours truly was in third. Got a bit lucky towards the end.
Good work, Cam. Good work.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Got some of the Japanese fights right towards the end of last year. Lamarcus Malvo was in fourth. Sean 7000 was in fifth. Nothing for something. He's in the chat as always. And he was in sixth, so congratulations to you, Nothing for Something. Punch Drunk was in seventh, El Terrible in eighth. My boy Wasif London, it's Wasif _ London in the Predictions League, but it's Wasif in the chat. He said to me, before the end of the season that his aim was to get top 10 because he did miss out on some predictions. Most people in the Predictions League top 10, they're the max predictions like me, 127. Moen actually he missed a few. He had 122 predictions, but Wasif missed quite a few. He only had 116. So for him to get in the top 10 of the Prediction League, that was excellent.
So if we averaged it out, would he probably win?
I don't know if you could mathematically do it like that because it kind of all depends on so many things. But I'm just giving him props.
If I was Wasif, I'd try and work that out.
To say, what, if I would have put them all in, I would have won.
They say in America.
Fair enough. And to round off the top 10, my girl Sarah, aka Sasa, Queen of the Prediction League, made it into top 10. So props to her, man. I think she's the only girl in the Prediction League, but it's nice to have it in there. And hopefully this season we'll get a few more girls in there. And Leon, I'm going to try and push like Chemo and Chew and everyone to start remembering to put their Prediction Leagues in because I think it's...
They're bums.
Yeah,
I tell you.
I think it's important that these guys be held accountable for their predictions.
They're hiding.
I think they do.
I think they did. Top 20 for the first time, Cam. So I was reasonably happy with that.
Say that again.
I got into the top 20 for the first time. So I'll take that. It's pretty poor, isn't it?
I know. I was joking with you that like at the start in the first season you were getting your wife to make your picks and you were doing quite well, and then
I need to go back to her.
Yeah, once you stopped doing that, you kind of headed south in the Prediction League. Yeah, but definitely, if you listen to this podcast and you don't know what the Prediction League is, it's on our website, boxingcoalition.com. Sign up for free. The new season has started this week. You'll see if you go to predictions and then predict. There's only 3 fights up because it is a quiet weekend. We've just put the David Haye fight up. We have put the Deontay Wilder versus Arthur Szpilka fight, and we've put the Charles Martin and the Glazov fight. So you just click on each fight, make your prediction, click OK, it's saved, and then when the fight happens, we update how the fight results were, and then you get your points or your minuses or whatever.
And we're the only podcast where you can actually find out who's telling the truth, not just some loser writing it down on a piece of paper and then phoning next week.
And the next week he said, "No, I didn't pick that guy." Exactly.
We're the only podcast where you can, right, you're a cunt. You said this in your 25th, like I was or something. You know.
Yeah.
You can own people.
No, that is true, and you can actually go into people's pages and write stuff, because I did ask Moment 10 if he wanted to jump on the show today or give me a sound bite that I could play during the show as a victory speech, and he said, "Nah, Harry might shout at him." And the reason he said that is because Moment 10 wanted to Harry's profile page on the website and talk some smack.
And trolled him.
Yeah, he trolled him a bit, and Harry didn't like it, you know. Harry got a bit defeated. I love Harry, you know. I love Harry, but like if he's winning, he's so smug. But as soon as Harry starts losing, man, like, well, he can't take it, you know.
Delicate around the whiskers, Cam.
Yeah, he's hiding glass.
Yeah. That'll get him fired up. Come on, Harry. Where are you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's about it for the Predictions League. But while we're talking about our beloved followers, we'll give them a quick shout. All the people in the chat.
Apart from this hairy hot dog guy, who seems to be an absolute bellend.
Yeah, I'm just about to trying to block him from the.
Get him out.
Yeah, I'm gonna block him in a minute. But let me just give a shout out to these people. We got Nothing for Something. We got Wasif One, Casual Fan, NK Alfie, J Swede the A Side, Num, Davy Boy Essex, Michael McDonough, Bill Bones 101, Mr. Dermo, Raphael 22, Tico, Foot, Court Music, my boy, Mackie Mac TMT, Stokey, Basileos, Jack Captain, Steelove, Lucan, Pinhead 360, Mongo Sled, Nesmatic, Diehard Casual Fan, Raphael, The Compo, Colm, Hairy Hot Dog, that's the guy that I'm about to ban, bro, so sorry.
Laters.
Yeah, in a bit. Nunez 83, Super Merc, and Kevlar, and some guests.
Yes.
Right, Leon, what's the next topic, man? I know, like, Milos is in the chat. He's a big fan of, you know, the German fights. We've got the rematch between Sturm and, what's his name, Chudinov coming up. It's not really, the first fight really didn't do anything for me. Like,
this is the super middleweight Chudinov, isn't it? That's who he was fighting, yeah?
Yeah, the one that he fought Buglioni.
Yeah.
I'm not really that excited about his fights. I don't know about you. Like, the first fight,
Sturm looked pretty shot in that fight, didn't he? To be honest, he was gassing pretty hard. But Chudinov he's pretty basic. But he can, you know, he throws. But he's slow. He was a bit slow, but he throws good punches. And all those boys look like can take a shot. If he's anything like his brother, he can take a shot.
Yeah.
So I see him winning that quite easily, unless Sturm sneaks, you know, does some dodgy.
I kind of agree with you. Like, Sturm looked like he's just fighting for the money now. Like, he's not really got the same conviction that he used to have. I do like Sturm though, but Chudinov to me, like, he impressed me more against Buglioni, which says a lot. Against Sturm, I thought he was quite basic. He was kind of throwing the same combination of punches. Maybe that was just the key to beating Sturm, and they kind of
maybe that was his tactic.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that was Maybe they just found that game plan and stuck to it, possibly. But
did I hear he'd been elevated to super champion?
Yeah, when Andre Ward dropped his belt. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. Yeah.
But not. We shouldn't even be bothering talking about the belts. It's pointless.
Yeah, especially the WBA belt. That's just
it's just a joke. Yeah, no, but let's see. It might be a good fight. Let's hope. All I'm hoping for is some good fights. You know?
Yeah. All right. Even
if they don't look good on paper, let's hope they're good fights. Try and be positive for once.
Yeah, that's a word that we don't use that often, but yeah, positivity.
I don't like using it. Felt weird.
Yeah. All right, let's just go back to Quiggs and Frampton quickly. I asked you this before the show started. If if it's pay-per-view, are we going to be pissed off? Or, like, me personally, like, I've read it's going to be pay-per-view. If it is, I'm kind of already accepted it, because if you're looking back at what we've got previously through Sky Box Office and pay-per-view, I expect this to be pay-per-view beforehand.
Is it? Because me and you were both saying we hadn't read much over Christmas period. Does anyone know in the chat? Is it definitely pay-per-view?
Shams 1000 says it is pay-per-view.
We sound like casuals, but is he saying it is?
Yeah, most people are saying it is, and for me,
Okay.
I kind of accepted that. I don't know whether I'm going to pay for it though. You know, Leon. Like, is that something you would pay for? The thing is, though, it's a fight I really like, though, so I can see myself paying for it. But then I'm part of the problem.
And we've asked for it for a long time, and I know this gets a lot of people's back up. But if that's what it really takes, see, I don't mind. This is two top guys.
That's the thing. Like, I could see myself buying that just to watch it in HD.
And some people will buy a pizza that's 20 quid and tastes like dog shit. So it's £16.50 or whatever it's, around that £20 mark. Is it if it was American prices and some cunt was asking me for 50 quid, forget about it.
No, I'm not paying 50 quid, but like $17.99 or $16.99, I could pay that. I don't mind paying that.
Yeah.
Especially if you get a few friends round and make a night of it, kind of.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. But I mean, it's such a good fight. I'm not going to criticize him because I like the fight too much. And I still think it's 60-40, isn't it? So that's a good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight, and yeah, I'll probably end up buying it. Like the last two that Vlad and Fury and what was the pay-per-view before that we had to pay for?
The last one was the Brook Gavin, no? Before that, wasn't it?
No, didn't we have another one in late last year? That was
Joshua.
Yeah, the Joshua one.
Before. Joshua was the last one.
Yeah, that
turned out good though, didn't it?
That did turn out good, but it wasn't really a pay-per-view, was it? So I didn't pay for them two. I streamed them both on a website that I use, but
I crumbled and brought the Joshua one.
Did you?
But that's only. But I only did that because I was away and I couldn't buy the Fury Vlad fight, and I listened to it on a radio, old school, and then I thought. I was in that weekend and I thought, fuck it, I hadn't spent that money, so I'll just spend it.
Why did you listen to the radio?
Because I was in the middle of fucking nowhere.
That music festival.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember now, yeah.
I had to listen to Richie Woodall talk a load of shite. But anyway.
No, don't shout at Richie, man. Richie's
No,
my
but
boy.
you had a bad night that night. You had an off night.
Well, was he very biased?
You had Vlad winning, so I don't know what he was talking about.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Yeah. Everyone has a bad night.
I think the other thing is the undercard, right? So they've got Luke Campbell versus TBE at the moment. Why is it not Luke Campbell versus... Who's the guy who just beat him?
Oh, that French dude.
Yeah. Immediate rematch.
No, he doesn't want those problems, man.
But that's what... I'm buying it again if I get that good... Because that could be another really good fight. That would help, man.
Even Mendy, he fought.
Yeah, but he's going to fight some nobody... And then Ryan Burnett, that everyone seems very high on, but he'll fight nobody. So they've got to put someone good on that undercard, I think, no? One other good fight, even if it's domestic level belt kind of thing.
I don't think they will, though, because they know that everyone's only bothered about the main event. That's the issue for me. That was why I was considering not buying it, just because I know the undercard is going to be shit. But I'm so hyped about the main event. I want to watch it in HD. I want to watch it,
Oh yeah, I can't be bothered. I've said it before. I'm not watching like shit on my laptop like a pervert. I want it on my telly, and I know you can hook it all up, but I can't be bothered with that shit. I'm old, Cam. I just want to be able to press a button and it be on my telly.
Leon don't want no HDMI problems.
No. I do not want any more fucking cables in my life.
Fair enough.
So no, I'm gonna buy it because it's fuck it. I mean, if it beats every other record and it makes Hearn the most, this is the other way it could go. If Hearn makes a shitload of money, you might go, well, if I put on good fights, really good fights, at that price, everyone's going to turn up and watch it. So it might work for us. You never know.
Just going back to Hearn, Sorry.
Go on.
Just going back to Hearn, he had such a shit year last year. Do you think this is going to be I can see this year being a lot better for Hearn. It can't be any worse than last year, anyway.
If there's a couple of things that could happen. If Groves can sort his fucking life out, we're worried that's not a good... that might not happen, right? If he can sort it out, that fight could be the end of the year, couldn't it?
Yeah.
George versus DeGale. If he's even still got DeGale, because I've got another theory about that. I think, yeah. And if Selby gets a good fight, Brook Khan, he could turn it round.
Can you see Selby Warrington this year?
I would if I was Selby, I'd be asking for it after the shit you had to be put through and on that horrible card he fought on with Al Heyman on a Wednesday evening in the middle of fucking nowhere. Wouldn't you want to fight Selby?
I'd want to fight Warrington and Lees after that shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You'd want that fight, wouldn't you? 'Cause it's just like, that's no fucking way to earn a living.
And I think
fighting in front of no cunt.
And I think for Hearn, that'd be a good move to get that fight out the way now, because you never know if Selby's gonna just completely go off into the States and just do his thing with Heyman. So it's better to, he's got Warrington, he's kind of still got Selby a bit, so just get him to fight now, big fight.
Well, I've got a little theory that Hearn could either have a very good year or a very bad year. Because I was thinking about this, and we'll probably come to this, about that David Haye fight being on Dave.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying Haye was going to sign with Heyman, right, at some point. Do you think, is there any possibility this could be the first little move of Heyman just to see if he can get boxing onto because that's basically a terrestrial channel now, Dave. Most people have a free view box. Can you get
Dave on Freeview?
I think it's on. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought I don't have Freeview. But I thought Dave is on Freeview, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
All right, Chew.
Is that on Leon?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just in the middle of one of my a long-winded theory. So I was thinking, is that Heyman just trying to see if he could get himself in the English market? Because he could be using David Haye as a kind of little dry run. Because that's the kind of channel that makes sense for Heyman to come and do a buy on, because he'll get it cheap. Everyone's got it. Everyone knows what Dave's got a big channel, right? A lot of people know what Dave is. I mean, it's shit, but
that's a good theory, man.
That. I've always thought Dave was a Trojan horse for like Channel 4.
It's a BBC.
They just put something on Dave as like a test. If it's any good, the big guns snap it up.
Yeah.
Like Sky.
But it could work, couldn't it?
That's not actually true, but I'll fucking say it.
But it could be a place for them to do free boxing.
Yeah. Yo, look,
Choo,
let me give you an intro.
Oh, dude. Man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
I fucking love it too. What's happening, Chew? Happy New Year.
What's happening? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you guys. It's fucking boxing. Nothing's happening. I fucking love boxing, but not this Christmas period. It's all happening. We're talking about David Haye being on Dave. Could things get any lower?
That's what we resorted to, Chew.
MMA's fucking selling out. Big light shows. Fucking everybody's talking about it. MMA. Fucking Muay Thai guys kicking bamboo trees. I could give a fuck. We're talking about David Haye on Dave.
Big moves are happening, Chew. Big moves. It's all about Dave.
Could you imagine the poster for that? You know, like the Dave sign is like just 4 letters and like fucking that stupid font. Like
# witty banter. That's the other one.
Dave, and a big picture of David Haye fucking steroid up. I mean, fucking, this is a bad time in boxing. The British scene is really fucking holding it down. What we got in the American scene, we've got fucking Eddie Guerrero and fucking Danny Garcia. Whoa. Ooh, fucking Danny Garcia. Fucking the most protected species since the panda.
Did you say Eddie Guerrero?
He's living off that I'm Your Can win.
Yeah. Yeah, it is shit, too, man. Me and Leon being
Sorry, Robert Guerrero.
I was going to say, I thought
yeah,
Eddie Guerrero. But yeah, too, me and Leon has been shitting on the whole kind of first 3 months of this year. It's pretty shit, really. Stu, you still there?
I'm still there. I mean, I fucking there's not a fucking there's not a shining light behind the cloud. I don't see anything coming on the horizon.
The only thing is Big Phantom. That's the only thing that's worth listening,
totally.
waiting for.
I mean, you could, but that's fucking 7 weeks away.
Yeah, it's quite far away, isn't it?
Nothing. We've got George Groves coming up fighting some proper bum. He might get knocked out as well. He's gone that off the rails. And then that's it. What else is on Sky? We've got George Groves. We've got Deontay Wilder fight. And then Frampton. So that's 3 fights in the first 2 months on Sky.
I mean, I love boxing, but fuck's sake, what are you doing to me? It's a great start to the year. You know, it's like, even the PBC, a lot of the fights are good, but they don't whet the appetite. It's just, you see the fight on paper and you think it's going to be shit. Like, fucking De Gale and Booty. I mean, most people were thinking that was going to be shit, and then it turned out to be a pretty good fight. It's just a lot of fights like that, you know what I mean? It's just, it's kind of, there's nothing to kind of get the blood pumping.
Yo, Chu, you're a big Kovalev fan, but are you really excited with the Pascal rematch?
Pascal's made it interesting. He's trying to get under his skin. I think a lot of people will be tuning in to see if Kovalev's going to fatale him.
That's the main issue. People want to see death.
He might. I think there's a good chance he might kill him.
And,
it's scary.
And it's funny that we're joking about it, but it could fucking happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a man die in a ring, man, but
no,
the way...
Of course, no one does. No, but I tell you, he's played with fire, man. You've kicked the hornet's nest a few times.
It's like those magicians that fucking play with that tiger. You know, if you keep fucking patting that tiger, it's going to rip your face off.
If you're not on point one day, you're getting 8.
You like some like kind of the Australian guy holding the snake by the tail, aren't you? It's going to get you at some point.
Yeah, that fucking guy who died by a stingray.
Yeah, that guy. That's Pascal.
Oh, he's not even that. He's fucking Bear Grylls.
He's Bear Grylls.
Oh, shit.
But look at I just went to the PBC website and they've got Flores versus someone I don't know, 2 fighters I don't know, and then that Garcia Guerrero fight, and then 2 other fighters I don't know. That's the first 4 fights.
I tell you what, I'm interested in that Andre Ward Barrera fight.
It won't happen though. He's being a dick. It's not going to happen.
I've missed that. Is it not happening?
Well, they were on Twitter and he was saying sign the contract to Ward, and Ward was like, no, we're not going to make you rich with our money and all this shit.
For fuck's sake, man.
I thought he's a religious man. You're not meant to, you're not meant to kind of honour money like that, are you, as a religious man?
I mean, is all the Australian strippers not busy? Is fucking David Haye not signed him up? Get yourself a fucking challenge before you fight Kovalev. I mean, if you go in against Kovalev and you're using these fucking soft touches, you're gonna get fucking.
Well, then we and Kat were just talking about this. I was thinking, do you think the injuries that he's had might be worse because he's taking these soft touches? What to find out that if his body can take it?
Well, if you've seen the fucking film Creed, he's meant to be a stuntman, so he should be fucking ready for that kind of action. He's just fucking at it. He's after, I don't know what's happened. Ever since he's been on HBO, he's kind of become a prima donna. Great fighter, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you couldn't draw a penguin to a zoo. So I don't know how the fuck he's gonna really demand to be the A-side and let all these fucking guys jump through hoops just to get in the ring and have you outpoint them in a fucking less than glorious fashion. So he needs to get his act together. He could be great, but he's fucking too much of this businessman's fucking shit's going on in boxing. Just get in the ring and fucking fight.
Well, that's what you know, how it used to be is you beat a good guy, you get a bigger fight. You beat that guy, you get another big fight, and that's how you got paid. And I know that's a bit old school and maybe a bit brutal, but I would rather it. And I know everyone says PBC is really good because boxers get paid and stuff, but you need a little bit of hunger. I know it's easy for us to say sitting here, but I think the fights back then were better because people, they knew they had to beat that guy and they beat another guy to get to the big payday. Where now guys are getting paid maybe too well for some fights, if we're being honest.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not saying they can get good money, but, you know, there should be, you know, work the pyramid upwards, the big bit at the end.
Yeah, these guys think they can just fucking teleport to the fucking safe in the bank that I've got the fucking all the gold bars in it.
Yeah,
Jumper style.
What do you think Furman's being paid per fight? Million and a half?
Oh, at least.
Yeah, to fight. Who did he fight last year to get the PBC Fighter of the Year bullshit?
I think he fought Guerrero, then
Glazov. So imagine they paid him $1 million for Guerrero and $500,000 for Glazov and said, we'll pay you $4 million to fight Porter. Rather than giving him a good paycheck all the way along, right? Like if you're going to fight a C-level guy, you get paid a C-level wage. And then when you get the chance of... That's how you entice them to fight. But it's all incest over there, isn't it? The money's just getting passed around.
Incest. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Keith Furman...
might be wrong, but...
Keith Furman, if you listen to his interviews, he's burned money. So he's probably burned all that money already. and he's another one. He's another one who's on the shelf fucking... Why are you ducking Sean Porter? I think you would beat Sean Porter. But he's fucking humming and hawing. Like Sean Porter's the fucking... the new Golovkin. No, Sean Porter's been fucking beat by Amir Khan. He's had trouble...
Sean
being dropped heavily by Adrian Broner.
Porter's not been beat by Khan.
Oh, sorry. Did I meant Brook.
Oh, slip.
I mean, yeah, fucking... Anyway, Brook.
Yeah, Brook, yeah.
So, Keith Furman is he's went from my favourite fighter to who is he? I mean, I see him on the side of my milk carton. Like, where is he?
He's missing.
Oh, he is missing. And then, why is this always happening in boxing where you get guys who say they want to fight 4 times a year, and then even Golovkin's at it now. And he's went from a 4 times a year fighter to, we'll see you in May.
But I mean, fucking AJ isn't now a 2 fights a year fighter. He's fought no one, and he'll be fighting again in April, and he'll fight again at the beginning of December, won't he?
Why is it that pay-per-view fighters need to fight twice a year? Is it like, can't you save up the fucking £15?
Because they know us poor fuckers can't afford to buy 12 fucking pay-per-views a year. So they know they're mugging us. Otherwise they would be fighting 4 times a year, wouldn't they?
I spend £15 a day on energy drinks. I can't fucking afford £15 a year every 6 months for a pay-per-view. I mean, if you're going to charge me pay-per-view, at least fucking fight every 3 months or something, so I've got a decent fight every 3 months. Now all I'm getting is this fucking bingo hall card every Friday night on Sky on a fucking PBC, where the fucking the telly, the big screen is bigger than the fucking stadium.
I love the salt, Chew. I love the salt.
Oh, I'm on with Leon.
All right.
That salt is just fucking driving me.
How do you feel about Lundy, Crawford? Crawford Lundy, sorry.
That's a fucking joke of a fight. I can't even lie to you. Like, was it you who said to me that Lucky Boxing, shout out to my boy Lucky, said that's a good fight?
No, he didn't say. He said it was a decent. He could see Lundy giving him problems, but I don't see it personally. Even Nez said that he just thought it was an easy layup, and we should be shitting on him if you're going to shit on other people. And he's right. But I don't know if it's Crawford or if it's Aram. I don't know who to blame, but The boxer can say no, right? No, go and get me someone better. But he might have said that, and then Arum ignored him.
Yeah, I feel for Crawford in a way, because I don't think Crawford wants these kind of fights. It's just that, fucking Arum's got these 5 fighters who just fight a fucking round robin. It's like,
and they're all like getting old as well.
It really is like, I mean, that division is weak as it is, and then Arum's maybe got 2 fighters on that division.
It's
3.
It's the most frustrating fucking thing about this sport. These fucking grown adult men who are businessmen are fucking children, and they won't share their toys with each other. They're wank. It's so frustrating. Like, the more you talk, we all blow up about this sometimes, but they're like kids.
Could you imagine like any other sport, like football having like a 3-team league, or NBA having like a 3-team league, or the fucking NFL having like 3 teams? You can win the Super Bowl, but there's 3 teams in it. I mean, you would stop watching. Yeah, you would just get bored out your face.
And I know people will go, well, you just don't understand boxing. You don't understand it's a business. I don't care. These grown fucking men do business. Do business then. If they say it's a business, do some fucking business. But they won't share. They're all fucking greedy fuckers, and they won't share their bit of money.
All these
it's
fighters,
so frustrating, man.
It's like PBC and fucking Top Rank. It's like window shopping. Top Rank's just walking past the fucking PBC window, and there's like a stripper there. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. Boom, boom, boom. They're fucking giving it the cheeks. Giving it the fucking, what do you call that fucking thing where they make the arse bounce? It's like...
No one can say that. No one's...
I forgot what it was, but...
BC.
Yeah, it's just like, you've got all these fights, but you can't quite get it. You can't quite touch it. It's just fucking through a window.
And this is on all of them. Like, I know Arum's as childish as probably the most childish. They're all as bad as each other, but I don't understand why half or 40% of a lot of the money is not enough for these cunts. So greedy.
Aye, man, I mean,
so fucking greedy.
Fucking hell. Fucking boxing, what have you done to me?
It does it to us every year, but we still come back, just to see if that knockout might happen.
Exactly, but a bit more positive. There was a fight that got made that I'm kind of looking forward to. Sammy Vasquez versus Aaron Martinez. It's on the...
That's a great fight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's on the Danny Garcia Guerrero undercard, and I'm looking forward to that, man, because...
He's my boy, Martinez.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he really impressed me in both his fights against Guerrero and Alexander. And Sammy Vasquez, I think he's going to get exposed, man. I'm picking Martinez for this fight.
No chance. Sammy Vasquez is going to school him.
Well, I tell you, Martinez he's up there for one of my fighters of the year last year.
Yeah,
he should be fair. Yeah,
he did the knockout, wake someone up within a split second.
Yep,
that was
Guerrero.
Genius. One of the best things I've ever seen. And then he ridded us of Alexander, which everyone was happy to see the back of that bullshit, right?
Yeah, I didn't mind losing the points in the prediction league when that happened.
I also got that right. So
yeah, you picked that one right. I remember you did. Yeah, you were gloating about that for a week. But
I mean, Aaron Martinez.
That's a good fight, though, man. That's a fight I want to see. That should be a headline fight on BBC on its own.
Yeah, that kind of puts like Guerrero Garcia to shame a bit, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, especially for Guerrero, because he got beaten by the guys on the undercard. Because I still think Martinez beat him.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Sorry, Chico,
Guerrero's just getting used up, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's alright. Aaron Martinez beat Devin Alexander so bad he started talking about anal sex. I mean, this guy should be fighter of the year. He's beat Robert Guerrero, didn't get the decision, and he beat Devin Alexander. I mean, that's 2 solid B-side wins. I mean, that's better than...
From nowhere as well.
And, like, top welterweights as well.
Yeah, I mean, he should be fucking talked about as, like, at least top 10 welterweight, top 5.
Well, he was definitely the surprise of last year, wasn't he? Like the guy who came and did things that no one even saw that cut. Because everyone was going, this is a terrible fight, that Guerrero fight. And there was like, do you remember it was in the day, in the baking heat in LA, and there was about 4 people there.
Yeah, it's like,
it was weird.
The timing was weird, wasn't it? Where by the time his fight happened, most people would kind of had left. And most people were there when Angulo was fighting. It was more full when Angulo was fighting.
But they could have left because Ski Mask was there.
That's true. Like, he could have been hogging up the seats.
Oh, jeez. This dude, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
But, no, we should have given him a little shout out at the end of last year for, like, kind of surprise of the year.
We should. I kind of forgot about him, to be honest.
That's a good fight, though. Going back to that, Cam, that's a good fight.
Yeah. I still think Sammy Vasquez is going to school him. I like Sammy Vasquez. He's slick. He's got a wee bit of pop. It reminds me of Joe Calzaghe. I think he's going to just box and move. He's just going to box Aaron Martinez's ears off.
You know what? I agree. I do like Sammy Vasquez, but he's not really been tested yet. And the fights where I've seen where he's been put under pressure, he's not really coped with it well. And one thing about Martinez, he sits on your chest and he bangs away, man. And I think that pressure is going to get to him. And again, like Sammy Vasquez is my southpaw brethren, but as you saw against Devin Alexander and Guerrero, you know, Martinez handles southpaws quite easily.
I disagree. I mean, I agree that he's good against southpaws, but I do think that Robert Guerrero and Devin Alexander are small welterweights whose power is not transferred up to the welterweight division, whereas I do think Sammy Vasquez is a big welterweight, does have power at that weight. He's just slicker, he's fucking rangier, he's just a better boxer than those two.
That's a fair point, but as I was saying to Leon before you jumped on to, this year I'm going to be constantly reminding you and Chemo to put your predictions in, so I guess when your predictions are going in, we'll see who's right then, Chew.
Oh, I'm coming for the top prize.
That's what you always say.
Just don't put these fucking silly fights for Thailand and that.
No, you have to though, you have to balance it out, man.
No, you got to dedicate, man. Hard work.
Yeah, box reckon.
You need to get me a fucking app that reminds me. Oh, there's a prediction on a Tuesday night.
I'll be texting you, man. Don't worry, I will be reminding you.
Yeah, or set yourself a reminder for Wednesday and Friday, and then you can do it yourself like an adult too.
I'm not going to tell you, but I was just strawweight fights for fucking Indonesia.
To be fair though, Chew, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone has to make picks on those fights, so it's not like we're singling you out to make hard picks against small divisions.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Nyota. I've got Nyota's number, so he'll be getting a phone call. So I am ready. I'm ready for you guys.
Fair enough.
Who won it last year?
We'd like to see.
Who won it?
The last season that just went past. Yeah, Mo and 10 won it.
They should eventually have like a winners comp.
What do you mean?
Only winners.
A winners league.
That'd be quite.
Champions League.
I have got ideas for like future things, but we can discuss that another time. But that is a good idea. But I'll go through all the winners. So Ari won the first one, Hamada won the second one, Chappie Hova won the third one, and Mo and 10 just won the fourth one. So this is the fifth one. It's the way I split it is 2016 season 1. That's how I do it. But yep, that's how many champs we got so far.
I was going to say, that Sammy Vasquez, that's that fight, and I don't mind that Brazil Mansour fight either on that card.
No, yeah, I was going to mention that as well. That's another decent undercard fight. That Brazil was supposed to fight. What's his name? Charles Martin, who's fighting Glazov this weekend. He was supposed to fight him at the end of last year, but Martin pulled out when he got this opportunity against Glazov. So, yeah, it's another decent. I like Mansour, but after that knockout win he got against Fred Cassie, since then his fights have been very average, I thought.
Yeah, that's true. But he's an old guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is getting on. I think he's touching 40, so you can kind of give. But he had a lot of the years in jail as well, so he's not had a hard career.
But go on, Chew, go on.
No, he's just I think he's older than 40, and that Ike Ayabuchi, he's out of jail as well. I wonder what jail does to you. It just preserves you. It's like fucking cryogenic.
It's like demolition, man.
That Ike was a madman before he went into jail. It could only get worse, no?
Yeah, I just
he's
looked.
A big loss. He was an absolute scumbag.
I just looked.
I don't know. I mean,
sorry, I just looked at Mansour's 43.
I think jail does something to you. It's kind of like Han Solo kind of coming out of the fucking that freezing chamber on Empire Strikes Back. You just get fucking frozen in time. 10 years later, you're looking all fucking yoked, like, because all they do is fucking lift weights. So if they stay in shape, then who knows? I mean, it's not as if it's a fucking nippy division where there's like featherweights fucking running rings around you. I mean, these guys just sit right in front of you. And, Ike Iabuchi, he's like a fucking murderer.
He's a killer, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, most of these guys are going to shit themselves before they even step in the ring with him, and I probably would as well. So these guys, better watch out, he's coming.
Yeah. I was going to say, Cam, that we're getting that Garcia Guerrero is on BoxNation. I just looked.
That's nice,
Danny
man.
Garcia, Robert Guerrero, so that's good.
Have they got anything else decent coming up?
So they've got an English fight on the 22nd.
I guess they got Flanagan and Matthews coming up as well.
Yeah, that's in February, and then they've got Kovalev Pascal as well, and then it's the Flanagan Matthews fight.
See, that's what you can't shit on BoxNation, man. They're doing. If it wasn't for them, how would we be watching this shit, Leon?
Oh no, it would have to be on bummy streams on laptops.
Exactly.
But they're in serious trouble by their numbers that came out. They lost a lot of money, so
yeah, I read that.
How much longer it lasts, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We'll be getting emails soon saying they're shutting down.
Yeah, no, I just think it's. I think it will go, and it's a shame because I just don't trust Sky to get those fights. You just got to hope BT go for it. I hope BT just buy BoxNation.
I thought that would happen when that BoxNation guy went over to BT. I thought that was going to happen, yeah.
They just need to fucking cut their cloth accordingly. Fucking fire. If they need to lay people off. Fire the Welsh guy. Just get fucking Buns to do it with a fucking microphone.
No. Fire Bunce and keep the Welsh guy, mate.
No, well, fucking I can't even understand the Welsh guy. And mind you, sometimes I can't understand Bunce. But fucking, all you do is get rid of the graphics, bring back teletext, that big fucking 80s graphics thing. Their studio is shit as it is. Okay, fine. Fucking do it in front of like a blue board. With fucking BoxNation in the corner, right?
Yeah, imagine Chew running his own boxing channel. It'd be proper ghetto.
Oh, it'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? It'd be like Wayne's World.
Nah, wouldn't it be that advanced? But the Golden Girls.
yeah. That's a scary thought.
Alright, boys, anything else you guys want to chat about, or should we start previewing Wilder and...
We've got to go. I hate going to it because it brings out the lunatics. But Triple G and this Billy Joe thing, what do we think? Billy Joe asking for all that money.
He's a gangster, isn't
he? The thing is, Triple G's made it clear that he wants all the belts. So Billy Joe's got one of the belts. I don't see Billy Joe beating Triple G. He's even said it in like interviews with Coogan that, you know,
he crossed the road, he said, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He kind of like, he danced around it, but he said he won't be able to beat Triple G. So I don't kind of blame him asking for so much. It's up to Triple G's team if they want to pay that much, but if he wants all the belts, then you got to pay him that money.
I think he should. I think if he's getting offered anything over $2 million, he's got to take it.
Yeah, because that's
life-changing money, man.
Yeah, in conversion of pounds, man, that's a lot of money.
Billy Joe reminds me of like World War II. Fucking Hitler's conquering all Europe, about to conquer Russia. Billy Joe's Stalingrad. He's like the last city. And fucking you would think, oh fucking I'm gonna conquer Stalingrad, but then Billy Joe's like, nah, 4 million. And you know, fucking Golovkin's never gonna get that belt. Never. He should just give up. Billy Joe's never gonna fight him, never gonna surrender.
I don't know, I think if the money's right, you'd take that fight.
4 million. That's what he's saying. 4 million.
They're saying they're coming to a deal, but for less money.
I think he's priced himself out, but leaving the opportunity for Canelo because I think he thinks that's a better fight for him. and he'd probably get similar money.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So no, that's we don't want to stay on Triple G too long because people get upset.
Were you going to say something, Stu?
It's just when everyone was talking about no, I just wanted to say, like, Billy Joe Saunders beating Andy Lee was probably the worst thing that could have happened in the middleweight division. I've got nothing against Billy Joe Saunders, but he was going to take that belt hostage. He's going to fucking take that back to, his wee house there. He's going to put that on the mantle place, and Frank Warren's going to give him the softest of the soft. And I don't blame Billy Joe because he's fought a lot of tough guys, but he's going to milk that. Why would you fight? I mean, from a logical point of view, why would you fight Golovkin in your first fight? He's probably would fight him, but you're going to talk about at least 3 or 4 defences.
That's a good point. He's going to milk the belt
so
a few
Golovkin
years.
should just forget about that. He's going to milk it like a cow.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're lagging a bit, too, but do you want to stick in Triple G? Should we move on?
No, that's enough.
I'll hang up and phone back.
Alright, bro. My boy Daniel Lim's jumped on the line. I don't know if he's just listening or talking, but Dan, are you there? Possibly just listening then.
Maybe just listening.
Yep. Alright, we'll just wait for you to come back. But Leon, anything else you've seen or you want to talk about before we move on to Mr. Deontay Bomb Squad Wilder?
No, let's get on with that.
Cool, man. Like, again, Salt, man. It's a shit fight against Arthur Szpilka. It was made on short notice. What's your thoughts on it?
I just hope he looks good. I just want him to do well and not look like he's looked in the last 3 or 4, last couple of fights. Because if he can look good, and if there's a chance of getting that Fury fight, I mean, that'd be one of the fights of the year, wouldn't it? So I just hope, I just want him to be good, even though I don't particularly trust him. I don't think he is that good. I just want him to knock this guy out and look good and go after Fury like Fury went after Vlad. Do it properly.
Just chase him down.
Go for the, because that's whatever you say about Fury. He wanted the best guy who had all the belts, and not enough fighters do that.
Yeah, one thing, I'm not the greatest guy on like the whole politics thing, so maybe you can help me, Leon. Maybe not, because you're a bit like me. You don't really follow it as much, but the whole IBF situation, like the Charles Martin versus Glazov, like, will that become a main event, like Kathy Duva? And if it does, she's not got the great. What's her relationship like with Heyman? Like, as far as I know, it's not
she tried to sue him, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. So, because one of my theories was maybe Wilder would drop the WBC and then go after, the IBF just to kind of avoid, Povetkin.
Yeah. Well, I think Duva's about to sell out and go full Heyman, don't you?
Possibly.
I've got that feeling because she needs that. She wants that. If she can do a deal with Heyman, she might be able to get that Stevens Kovalev fight onto. I think she needs Heyman. She's not doing much on her own. So, because I think that winner's going to fight Wilder. They'll keep both try and keep both the belts. Yeah. Somehow.
All right, boys.
It's a joke, that fight. It's a joke.
Yeah. We're having a bit of a technical problem. Skype happens quite often, so let me just play this bit of Scorsese while I try and get Chew back on the line.
Yeah, go on.
Boxing Coalition. Check. What it is. Let's go toe to toe. You can debate me, but I ain't having it. You made a good enough point, but I'm playing devil's advocate. We face off like we're sitting with Max Kellerman, pumping with adrenaline, hitting you with intelligence. Speak your mind or forever hold your gum shield. I don't take prisoners, I don't care how you bums feel. I don't care if you Teddy Atlas or Burt Sugar. Word to my mother, I'll snatch the mic off Michael Buffer. I slap Jimmy Lennon Jr. just to say my piece. When it comes to trash talk, you're gonna face the beast. You claim to be an expert, but where's the facts? Toe to toe, let's go, yo, where you at? You claim to be an expert, but where's the facts? Toe to toe, Box Coalition, let's go.
Yo, we're back. Chew, are you back?
Yep. What's happening?
We got Chew back. Leon doesn't seem to be back yet. Hopefully he'll jump on the line. Chew, what's your thoughts on Wilder, Szpilka and this whole Glazov, Charles Martin situation, IBF?
Charles Martin. Yep. I don't even know who these guys are. Szpilka. Yep. I think Deontay Wilder should just. I thought Deontay Wilder was going to fight Povetkin.
He was supposed to, but Povetkin said, January, February is a bit too early for me. I want to fight maybe like April onwards. So WBC gave Wilder the opportunity to make another defence, which I think was a bit stupid of Povetkin, to be honest, because, you know, he might lose a fight, some other shit might happen, you never know, especially with boxing these days.
I don't know who Charles Martin's beat to become, what is it, mandatory?
Yeah, I've only seen Charles Martin once. He fought on the undercard of one of Wilder's fights, and it was one of these fights that gets played after the main event, and I just caught it on the stream, I think. But his resume is pretty weak. He's not really fought any big names, any names, to be honest.
No, he's fought Tom Dallas and that Raphael Love that everyone just knocks out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the one that Anthony Joshua knocked out as well?
Yeah.
And he took him 10 rounds. And he knocked him out in the 10th round. But apart from, they're the only two names I recognise on his resume are two, without being horrible, bums. In Top Dallas. That's the truth of the matter, though. So he's done nothing to be there. It's a fucking joke. And I call on everyone, whoever wins this fight on Saturday, and then they go on Twitter and put up their little celebrationary tweet about becoming world champion, all of you troll the shit out of the cunt, because they're no belt holders. They're both a joke. It's a ridiculous thing that they've done to Fury.
I mean,
that's how I feel about it. You know, it's ridiculous.
I totally agree. I wonder if Fury's comments had anything to do with it. I mean, it seems to me like a bit of a political correct move. Maybe they didn't want to be associated with him or whatever. It's just like an attention-seeking move. These guys that's your unified champion. And what do? You strip him almost immediately. I mean, Tyson Fury's probably attracted a couple of casual fans just because it's a new unified heavyweight champion, and these casual fans are thinking, oh man, boxing's not changed. It's still the same old fucking 4 belts politics bullshit.
Do you know what I think it is? I think the organisations, like the fighters, are chasing Al Heyman's checkbook because they know they're going to get more sanction fees if they fight on his cards. They get paid better. That's what I think.
Do they though? I mean, like Tyson Fury, I mean, he probably sold a few pay-per-views that last fight. Does Al Heyman do pay-per-views? I mean, he's got a bottomless pit of money, but
they still get a chunk of the purse, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, but would Tyson Fury not get a lot bigger purse?
Yeah, but it depends. I don't know how it works, but
to be honest, I don't either.
No, I think they probably get paid more if they've just got a single champion, right? I don't know how it'd work across 4 belts when they defend like that.
Right enough.
Yeah, but I mean, it just stinks that this has even happened. It's just, you know, Is boxing harming itself by taking that belt off Fury?
People say like the IBS meant to be one of the good ones.
Yep, I used to say that.
Fucking greedy bastards. I mean,
And this is them saying, well, we're just sticking by our rules because we do mandatories. But it's bullshit, right? Everyone, it's just snide.
It is.
Everyone knows it.
I agree.
I'm trying to think of like an analogy. It's like Tyson Fury, this guy who's just fucking beat the 10-year champion, and like, this is your champion, this is your contender, Chris Martin. It's just like, what the fuck? Chris Martin?
Glazov was the mandatory.
Even Glazov shit. Steve Cunningham fucking beat him.
Yes, that's true, man. He did beat him, but he didn't get a decision yet. I agree.
He got robbed.
Yeah.
This is your fucking number one contender, Glazov. Ready? Are you ready for Glazov? Glazov's fucking terrible. And that's your fucking IBF champion. That's embarrassing. That's a fucking embarrassment. Why would you even... At least if you're going to get someone to take that belt, make it a fucking worthy guy. It's like they've just picked a name out of a hat.
But why devalue your own property? It's like getting a car and then just smashing all the windows. Like you're making your belt worth nothing.
That's a great analogy, man.
But it's true though, isn't it? You're fucking your own shit up. It's retarded.
You ever seen Dragon, the Bruce Lee film? It's like a Bruce Lee biopic.
Yeah, I watched it years ago.
Yeah.
Same here.
And you know the one where Bruce Lee gets his back broken by a guy who karate kicks him in the back.
Yeah.
But the guy's actually quite shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like all the karate guys are like, all the kung fu guys are like, oh, we've got someone to fucking beat you. We've got someone. And there's this guy going, wah, wah. And the guy turns out to be shit. And it's like all the Chinese guys are like, this is it. This is the guy. This is it. The number one contender. And it's like Glazov is shit. And that's just kind of like fucking the belting organisations are like, if ever a guy unifies, they've got the snidey contender to take the belt.
Yeah, it's like they hate when someone unifies. It's like, we need to get a belt back from these unification fights.
And it could be anyone. And it doesn't even need to be in your universally recognised top 10. It could be Glazov. Could be Chris Martin. I mean, even this fucking guy Kell Brook's facing. Who's that?
Lost twice to Jojo Dan.
That's saying something. That's Jojo Dan. When I say the name Jojo Dan, I'm thinking White Ski Mask Joe, fucking Black Ski Mask Joe, and Dan. I'm not thinking of Jojo Dan. I'm thinking of the coalition.
Oh shit.
Speaking of, here he is.
What's segue?
He has returned.
Happy New Year to you, Dan.
Are we still friends, MV2?
Of course.
All right. I just wanted to settle. We had a laborious last couple of weeks, me and Chu. So I just wanted to make sure that we're good.
You didn't see the sarcasm in that message.
I know, of course I did.
Please don't repeat that.
No, I know.
Trouble if you do.
What have you said to?
No, but regardless, yeah. So what are you guys talking about? I mean, obviously there haven't been too many fights these past 3 weeks we've been off air. So what have you guys been doing to keep busy?
At the moment we're talking about mandatory contenders and how they're so unworthy and how boxing at the current moment is shit. I know you were just at an MMA fight recently. And to me, I'm not even an MMA fan, but I mean, all the kind of drama is over on that side, and I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
We're getting fucking Wilder and Szpilka.
Honestly, when I was at that fight in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, I was telling myself, if you want to commit fully to MMA, just do it. But I just saw the technique, and even like this was supposedly a fight of the year at MMA, but the technique was so sloppy, the stand-up was so sloppy that I just couldn't really get myself into it 100%. So I still think I prefer to watch boxing, but you're right, Drew, in terms of a matchup standpoint, the biggest guy over at MMA right now, Conor McGregor, is going up a weight division, in a weight division he's never fought before in the UFC, and he's fighting the number one guy in that weight division. And it just makes me feel like shit, because that's synonymous to a guy like Canelo going straight from 154 to 160 to face Triple G without any kind of tune-up fight, or it's like Triple G going up to 168 to fight Ward if Ford was still at 168 and them fighting immediately without having to go through any politics. So that's the thing that I'm most jealous of. Is just that, when the matchups are presented in that sport, they're immediately pounced upon.
That's what we used to do, though. That's what boxing used to do.
Okay, yeah, like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm saying that's what's happened. It's just people... me and Cam talked about earlier. It goes back to that.
And there's a direct correlation.
Everyone's so scared of that fucking shit.
Yeah. And there's a direct correlation to what you guys have just been talking about with all these specific examples, right? You have 4 different belts that are recognized, and each of them have their own way of just shitting on the sport. So the fights never get made into fruition. So that sucks.
It's strange. Like it's like back to like 2 years ago when I was talking about a kind of civil war in boxing. People are adamant that boxing is good at the moment. Like you're getting so many fights and they're free, and it's just like you're getting fucking a lot of shit and it's free. It's just mediocrity.
The free shit is irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant. It's about good fights. If they're free or I have to pay a bit more for them, I don't give a shit. That being free thing is just bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like I could give you a free shit sandwich every day of your life, but you won't gonna fucking eat it, are you?
Shit, I'd eat it.
Well, you're a disgusting individual.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry. But the Pacquiao-Bradley fight, I mean, to me, that's the kind of fight that I hope doesn't personify this year, because...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because fucking hell, man. Because I was in LA this past week and a half, and I was just over at the Wild Card, and even Manny's trainers don't want to see that fight, and they have to fucking train him. So imagine the daily toll that they have to go through. It's like, Manny, come on, Manny, let's do it. You got to beat Bradley. And then in the back of their minds, they're like, oh, fuck me, we're facing this Desert Storm motherfucker again.
People are going to be tuning in only to see what kind of analogy Teddy Atlas is going to come up with in the fight. Yeah, just like...
Exactly. And to see what kind of shit-talking ensues between Atlas and Broach. And after that, I don't know how you sell that fight. So.
Dan, do you think we'll see some ice fishing?
Some ice? I hope no. You know what? Teddy has moved to the Desert Storm camp, so you got to think of some kind of activity that's unique to the desert,
True.
He doesn't live in Minnesota anymore, so I'll go ahead and Google that, and we'll think of some bits that HBO can use right before the fight starts. But yeah, man, I don't know. That fight is terrible. The Crawford, who's Crawford? Lundy. God
horrible.
Damn, that's a shit fight.
But I was saying, Dan, that the fights that have been Pacquiao-Bradley have now made Pacquiao and Bradley look like a good fight because the other fights are so poor. Because at least they're top guys.
Yeah,
I mean, don't want to see it again. Boxing has fucked itself over again.
That's the Top Rank conundrum. That's the symptom of Top Rank, is when you have such limited fighters who are, granted, still pretty decent. You're going to get good fights, but it's just these recycled fights, like me and Chu have stated numerous times, that nobody wants to see anymore. From a pound-for-pound standpoint, I mean, this is still a decent fight. It's just that there's such recycled faces and people that we're so familiar with. I mean, there's really no reason. There's no logical reason for this fight to take place. Pacquiao corrected the wrong that ensued in the first fight. That was the whole point of the rematch, right? So why do we need to see a third fight? Like, what's one good reason to see the fight? I mean, it's not going to do good pay-per-view numbers, so I don't understand it from Aram's standpoint. It doesn't accomplish for either fighter. I mean, they're both kind of in that over-the-hill stage, Manny more so than Bradley, but, now's not the time for these guys to fight again. I mean...
But he hasn't got anyone else to make money with, because Crawford's less well-known than Bradley, isn't he? So, but this is the problem. As I talked about earlier, the promoters are the problem. Their children, they behave like children and they won't share. It's pathetic.
That's why I never understood the idea that Pacquiao was going to fight Crawford for his last fight. I mean, why would he fight Crawford? It's high risk, low reward. Nobody knows who Crawford is. If they fight, I think their pay-per-view numbers would do like 400,000 buys. I mean, people want to shit on Triple G for not stepping up to the plate and generating pay-per-view numbers. Imagine what kind of pay-per-view numbers Crawford generates. Nobody knows who Crawford is, man. And I know that's not what people want to hear. They just want to see the best fights, but that's just how this business works, you know.
Does anyone know who Bradley is? So?
I think
probably
so.
More, but
yeah, just based on the controversy of the first fight, right? That's pretty much it. And yeah, but going back to that, that's not going to have any beneficial impact on the pay-per-view numbers of this fight, because all those fans are people who just hated Bradley, and they felt that their wrong got rectified in the second fight. So this third fight is unnecessary.
Lim, I read Bob Arum was saying that they're not going to label this as Pacquiao's last fight. Do you think he just needs to retire after this fight?
I don't know. It's tough to say, Cam. I mean, if he looks decent, they're probably going to have the Floyd rematch, honestly, because there's just too much money in that fight. Even if it does half the pay-per-view numbers, and it does say, like 2.3 million pay-per-view buys, I think both fighters would do it, you know? And I think it could accomplish that number. So I think that's the only logical fight afterwards. You know, if it's Bradley, if Pacquiao loses, then yeah, he should retire, obviously. But if he wins and he looks decent, I think he does a Floyd rematch.
Yeah.
I feel for Crawford, because it must be frustrating seeing Pacquiao fight Bradley again, and it's kind of like, fuck, I've got a decision to make. Do I stay with Bob Arum and fight guys like Lundy and fight guys like fucking Derry Jean, or do I fucking move to Al Heyman? And in fairness, Al Heyman's probably going to put him against fucking...
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing.
He's probably going to get... That's the thing with boxing. I mean, you've got these loads of these guys, they're like fucking runners, guys in the 100 metres final, and they're in the fucking the blocks, they're ready to go, and the gun never fires. They've got all these guys waiting to be stars, but you know, they never hear the fucking gun.
Yeah, and I think to further add to that analogy, after they're so reticent and they don't decide to pull the trigger at all, they don't even want to run. They don't want to run the race to begin with. A la Thurman. I think Thurman is the type of guy who had that killer instinct coming in, but now I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, all these guys they don't want to have a risky fight before they're a big name or a star, but they don't realise that you need to have a risky fight to become a fucking star.
Exactly.
You can't have it both ways, man.
Exactly.
Keith Thurman is a fucking shining example. I mean, we've talked about him before, but I mean, you've got so many. At least Adrian Broner, and I'll give him fucking credit for this, took some risky fights and he lost. But you know what? I fucking give him credit for that, because at least he took the fucking risk.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you halfway there. I think coming into the Maidana fight, he was a pretty heavy favorite, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't an easy fight. I mean, he's gonna,
you're right.
He's going to get touched up in that fight, regardless of if he won.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I agree with you then. I think to further add to that Thurman comment is these guys think that a risky fight is fighting a top pound for pound guy like Floyd or Manny. But sure, that may be a risky fight, but the main incentive for you to fight that fight is to get a shitload of money. It's not a risky proposition in the same sense of fighting, a guy like Triple G. It's just one of those things where all of these fighters are trying to establish their names. Amir Khan, Keith Thurman, Porter, Broner, whoever it may be. They're just trying to fight the top guys, whether it be Mayweather or Pacquiao, and they're just fucking putting themselves on the bench for God knows how long, right? And all their credibility, all their, star power just goes out the window as they're waiting and just fighting fucking bums. And then, Floyd and Manny, they're not even interested in fighting these guys. So it's just an uneven balance in the sport that I think is really ruining its credibility. And, no, but to further add to it, I think you're right in the sense that at least Broner went up a weight class and fought a guy like Maidana. I want to see guys like Thurman and Porter do the same. Guerrero isn't a legitimate name, right? Danny fighting Guerrero is not anywhere near the same as Broner going up to fight Maidana.
No.
So
Guerrero's lost his last two fights.
Yeah, he did. against Martinez.
Yeah, he lost.
I thought he lost that fight.
Everyone does.
Guerrero's just a guy, when I watch him, I feel sorry for him because it seems like he's proud of telling people, I lasted 12 rounds while I got the shit beaten out of me, but hey, at least I survived. That's like his calling card nowadays. So, if he's happy with that, good for you, but he's not a good fighter.
Basilius in the chat is saying, what is up with these boxing fans complaining like bitches? Shake my head. I've none against, sorry, it wasn't Basilius, it was Raphael. Sorry, Raphael. Listen, I've seen you in the chat before, you make some good points, but, listen, I'm tired of fucking pretending like I'm on ecstasy and enjoying all these fights every week. I'm sorry, man, it's not going to happen, man. I can't fucking, put lipstick on a pig, as I like to say. This is fucking, this is like feast or famine. The feast or famine, I know you know this one. The feast or famine fucking situation. You either got it fucking amazing in boxing or you've got it like a fucking famine. Like there's nothing at the moment. It's nothing. What do you want me to say? I mean, do you want me to lie about it? Do you want me to be like some of these other podcasts and tell you everything's fucking rosy and everything's great? Meanwhile, you're getting fucking 1,000 people paying tickets and another 5,000 getting free. And the ones who get the free ones sometimes can't even be bothered to fucking go because it's a shit fight.
Yeah. And I had an idea this last week when I was just driving. I had an idea. What if we did a podcast where we literally went through every single weight division in boxing and we analyzed and assessed the situation of each weight division and see just how, well the sport is being played out in each weight division. And I think that's a good way for us to really properly analyze whether the sport's in a good place or whether we're just bitching and moaning like Raphael suggests. But that's just me, because it seems like I've been on this show for about 20 minutes now, and it seems like all we're doing is complaining. So Raphael does have a point, but again, like you said, Chu, I mean, these fights, they're just not living up to it, right? I mean, Triple G is probably going to fight Turiano Johnson now. We got Pacquiao versus Kovalev in another unnecessary rematch. But what's it going to be?
But we did say that we were excited about Quigg and Frampton, and I'm happy to watch Kovalev Pascal again. It's not like we're always saying it's a bad start to the year.
And I'm excited about Martinez and Vasquez as well. So
yeah, that's a good fight.
Do you think like back in the day women couldn't vote? Like 100 years ago, they couldn't vote. Do you think women could have fucking eventually got the vote if they said, "Oh, it's all good, everything's great"? do you think?
No.
Fucking the civil rights movement in the 60s would have happened if they said, "Nah, it's all right. Sometimes it's shit, sometimes it's good, but it's all right. We're happy like that." Do you think the Vietnam War would have stopped? I could go on. Do you think the fucking Berlin Wall would have fell? If you don't fucking complain, nothing changes. It's people think that you're like a bigger person or you're like a happier person or you're such a cool guy if you don't complain, you don't act like a bitch. But if you don't fucking bitch, if you don't fucking complain, if you don't fucking do something about it, nothing will change.
Well said.
That's why I was surprised that you guys were even having a show today, because I really didn't know what we could discuss.
Leon and I had to get some salt off our chest, and it seems like you two had some for us as well. So
yeah, but I feel bad because I'm probably the main person who always complains and bitches and moans. So certainly last year, the way that we closed 2015 with our shows.
Now, to be honest, I think we've all been doing that last year, and I think it's just because of the quality of fights we've been getting. We're getting frustrated because we're all boxing fans. The reason why we started the show is because we love talking about it, and it's been so frustrating the last 2 years.
And it's the boxers. It's not just the promoters. It's the fucking boxers. People are in their fucking ear at night, poisoning them. I seen that film Southpaw the other day. 50 Cent was an actor in it. A shit actor, but he was an actor in it. And he was telling fucking Gyllenhaal. Cheers for pronouncing that for me. I can't pronounce it, but he was telling Gyllenhaal, 2 for the money, 1 for the belt. So 2 for the money, 1 for the legacy. He's probably fucking took that expression off Lou DiBella. He was an executive producer on that fight. How many promoters tell fucking boxers that? 2 for the money, 1 for the belt. No, it should be the other way about. 2 for the belt, 1 for the money. Matter of fact, it should be 3 for the belt. And you'll get paid. Don't worry about it. But fucking every fight should be a tough fight. You don't have to fight fucking Lucas Matisse every time out. You don't need to fight fucking Andre Ward every time out. But you should fight a fucking contender at least.
Yeah, top guys.
Yeah. And it seems like these small and promotional companies, like whether it be Lou DiBella or Kathy Duva, they're kind of getting to the point where they see that Al Heyman is really monopolizing the sport, so they pretty much just acquiesce to whatever that he wants to do. And so they'll say, "Oh, Al Heyman, you need one of my fighters? Sure, I'll put him in there with you." You know, they don't really have the ability to kind of venture off on their own. So that's another side effect of the Cold War. And even Golden Boy. I mean, the Golden Boy is just, they're so limited in terms of the size of their stable, right? It seems like the only logical step for them is to baby and to nurture Canelo all this way through and not have him fight anyone risky until, I mean, God knows when he fights Triple G. So if Canelo fights, what's his face, Rosado next, I'm not going to even watch that fight, man. Because that's not a quality fight at all for Canelo.
But it's like it's funny. It's like I said, one of the last shows we done. Canelo's gone the route of past Triple G opponents. He might fight Rosado. He might fight Lemieux. I think he's just trying to see if he can knock him out before Triple G did, and that would kind of build up the anticipation. I don't actually mind that, to be honest. Like I don't think Rosado's that bad a fighter, and if it's your first fight of the weight class, then fair enough.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a weight class. It's going to be at 155.
Yeah, it won't be 160.
You know? So what's the fucking point? And I understand the logic of building up fights by having, the two opponents fight common opponents. But to me, Rosado has what, like 4 fights from that fight against Triple G? You really think the public is going to remember that shit?
Yeah. Nah, listen, I agree, but who else could he fight? That's a fucking weak division. I mean, I'm struggling to come up with some kind of alternative.
But I think, like, the most important thing is he should be fighting at 160. If he fought Rosado and, like you said, it's at 160, fine. Right. But now, I hate over the last couple of years how getting a catch weight has become like part of a trainer's tactics for a fight. Can I drain this guy down a bit? That's a good start to my plan, rather than just fighting someone at weight.
It's almost, like Al Bernstein's fucking keys for the win.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like that, that Showtime. I can just imagine like Al Bernstein just saying like, fucking Canelo's got to lose the double jab, left hook after the pivot, and make him lose 4 pounds.
Yeah, and remove all IV fluids in the state of Las Vegas or the state of Nevada during the day of the fight.
The most important thing Canelo can do is make him lose 4 pounds, and fucking why not? It's like the fucking Sun Tzu out of war. Make him lose a few pounds.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about the Rosado fight. I don't think he's a middleweight.
Who, Rosado?
Yeah, I don't think he's a big 154 guy. I think he's like somewhere in between, like Canelo.
Now, you know what? I actually think I disagree with that. I think Rosado is or should be a middleweight, but he's just such a bummy fighter that he doesn't have any advantages at 160. So he has to go down to 154 because that's the only advantage, or that's one of the few advantages that he does have is his size. So, yeah, I've seen Rosado do some pad work with Fernando Vargas. And the guy, he's got good fundamentals, but my God, is he predictable. And he has no fucking power. So, that BKB win that he had, I mean, I think that's a fluke because just so, obviously it's BKB, and secondly, Vera was coming off all those wars, but I don't think Rosado has much power. So I don't know what his strengths are, rather. So
whatever happened to BKB?
I was just thinking the same,
I don't really miss it, to tell you the truth. I mean, I know those kinds of events are fun to watch, but for me, I prefer just the legitimate actual thing. So
I just thought it was like a novelty.
Wasn't that shit? Wasn't that pay-per-view as well, BKB?
Yep. Yeah, like $20, I think.
Fuck that.
When I watched BKB, it kind of reminded me of, like, the show Gladiators. I know you said that in America as well. Gladiators. Like, every time someone knocks a guy out, I expect them to run up a big escalator.
And
then jump
grab
up
a
the
rope.
swing rope and
I know, right? And then now, to get your belt, Rosado, you got to go through this trial. You got to go through these logs. You got to run over these logs. You got to climb this wall, and then you get your belt.
and then beat a guy on a pogo stick. Pogo stick. Those fucking sticks?
Yeah. Yeah. Any other news from boxing scene?
Not really, Lim. It's still a bit quiet in the boxing scene, seeing as though it's like the New Year hangover.
Yeah.
Brook, busier. He's been signed. Like I was saying earlier, I've never heard it busier in my lifetime. Apparently I had a good win last time, the people in the chat were saying, but you know what, it's just a sad situation. What happened to the Argentinian guy who was going to fight?
I don't know. Oh, Chavez?
Diego Chavez.
I don't know. For a second there, too, I thought you said that Kell Brook was busier in 2016. I was like, what are you talking about?
He's both. He's busier and he's fighting busy.
Alright, boys, should we get some final thoughts and wrap it up?
Yeah, this might be the, not the quickest show, but a pretty quick show.
Did we make predictions, though?
What is it to predict apart from the Glasgow fight and David Haye?
And the David Haye fight.
Alright, go on, give us your thoughts, Stu.
I've not even talked about the David Haye fight, man. Did you talk about that at the start, right?
Yeah.
Alright, okay. David Haye fighting Damori. I've got David Haye winning in 4 rounds and spectacular fighting.
True. Who does Damori remind you of?
An Australian stripper.
No, I thought he was related to Lemieux.
Oh, right.
One form, one another.
If you saw a picture of Maury, he kind of looks like a washed up 10 years older Lemieux. He's like the ghost of Christmas Future for David Lemieux. He's like a David Lemieux when it all goes wrong.
He started doing like bodybuilding and taking loads of PEDs and shit.
Yeah. Working as a bouncer, getting a couple hours of training here and there.
Nah, I mean, I've never seen him fight. No idea what he's gonna look like.
So what channel is this on?
It's on Dave.
Is that David Haye's TV channel?
No, it's a stupid name for a TV channel.
I thought David Haye was just expanding his business network and starting the channel Dave.
Yo,
Promotions.
Leon, all jokes aside, do you think he'll get decent figures?
I haven't seen any advertising for it anywhere.
I've only seen like stuff on Twitter.
Yeah,
is it pay-per-view, guys?
No, it's just on. It's kind of like free TV almost.
It's
Dave
free
on
TV
Dave.
pretty much.
Shout out to Shams. How narcissist? What's that word?
Narcissistic?
Narcissical. A narcissist.
He calls his promotion Haymaker. He fights on Dave. He's a fucking narcissist. He fucking comes back after 3 years out because he can't handle the fucking spotlight being on some cunt else. Raj. He's a fucking mentalist. And I think he's going to get knocked out. Not by this guy, but fucking by Anthony Joshua. And I hope the day comes soon.
Huh.
He's coming back for the money. He just wants that Joshua fight, doesn't he?
I'm interested to see how his shoulder holds out. I'm interested to see how he fights underneath Shane McGregor as well. Cause,
it's definitely interesting. He's definitely brings something to the heavyweight division, doesn't he? If he does come back,
yeah, definitely.
If he's going to come back, I just hope he's good, because then at least he's interesting.
That's true. And Shane, man, just quickly on Shane, he's started to, pick up some of the rejects of Adam Booth, man. He's got Haye now, and he started to train George Groves as well.
He's a fucking leech, huh?
I do like those Shane McGuigan, so I'm interested to see what he could do. But I think
big test, isn't it? All those personalities.
That's true. He's done good with Carl Frampton. It's just to see how he does with the other two. But
maybe he can win Trainer of the Year like Joe Gallagher did from the Ring magazine today.
Sir Joe, yeah, you need to give him some props, Leon.
Yeah, he's done all right there. Yeah, he's got a trinket. He's got a little trinket.
You're saying that through like clenched teeth.
Yeah, definitely.
Glazov and Charles Martin. I know you talked about him before. You don't really know much about Charles Martin. If you had to make a pick, which you do because you are going to take part in the Predictions League, who are you picking?
I'm picking. Fuck me, man. That's a tough pick. I'm picking Charles Martin.
Oh no.
No,
don't do that.
Why not?
He's very poor.
Because I fucking hate Coldplay. Honestly, I hate Coldplay so much. I really do. No, but I saw Charles Martin fight. I saw a couple of his fights on YouTube on the plane right over here, and I know Glazov isn't very good, but I think Glazov is still better than Martin. Why are you picking Martin?
Just because I saw Glazov get schooled off Cunningham.
Yeah.
And I just thought, man, you're shit.
Thing is, Cunningham can outbox people, man. And
exactly.
Charles Martin hasn't got those skills, I don't think.
No, he hasn't got those skills.
He doesn't, but I mean, like that performance against Cunningham was so bad. Like he hardly threw a punch in the first 6 rounds. So, and Charles Martin's got 20 knockouts.
It just feels like one of those fights where whoever wins, you're going to feel like he didn't deserve to win.
And the worst thing is they're going to be a world champion.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I hope it's a fucking draw or something.
Yeah, and people want to claim that boxing titles matter anymore. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the definition of a meaningless title fight.
Yep.
Is it for the legitimate IBF?
Yeah.
Does IBF do the stuff that WBC does, like the super?
No, it doesn't do that. Crazy.
Okay, so this is just okay.
Is this on PBC?
No, it's on Showtime, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Showtime.
And then is the Deontay fight on Showtime as well?
Yeah, it's on the same card.
Undercard.
Okay.
So they've got like an IBF fight and then they've got a WBC fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me seems like a bit of a setup. So
Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
Charles Martin is probably going to win because that would be a more of an interesting fight for Deontay Wilder. I mean, who's the A side in that fight, Martin or Glazov? I'd say Martin because he's American. I think they're desperate to get an American champion. So
There's no A side in that fight. That's 2 Bs.
Not even.
Two
Not
C's.
Yeah, 2
Two
Cs.
C-level fighters.
The only issue about what you're saying is, Cheeto, Deontay has to fight Povetkin next.
I think it'll beat Povetkin.
Nah.
So Deontay versus Povetkin?
No, I don't see that.
I'd favor Povetkin, but I think Deontay would have a chance.
No, he would definitely have a chance. He could possibly
It's a good fight.
He could possibly outbox him like he did against Stavern, but I think Povetkin's a lot better than Stavern.
He is, but I don't know, man. At the same time, I'm just a little bit too high on Deontay, but I still feel like all those shit performances that he's had a lot of it is, he just got into boxing when he was 21 years old. He's kind of learning on the fly, and I mean, athletically, he's probably more gifted than anyone in that weight division, except for Joshua. So
Yep, you're just getting a bit of noise off your mic a bit, Dan. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's touches
I'm
or
sorry.
close.
I just put on a scarf. It's really cold here in New York, so. All right, yeah, but should we talk about the Wilder Szpilka fight now?
Yeah.
I'm not really hyped about this fight, to be honest.
And you shouldn't be.
I mean, what has Szpilka done? There's 2 titles on the line in this card, and at least 3 of the fighters don't deserve to be in those fights.
Yeah, what's Szpilka's last couple of performances?
Let's have a look. Szpilka beat some dude no one's ever heard of, and then another guy that no one's ever heard of, and then he fought Ty Cobb, and Adamek was his last good win.
In Poland, yeah. That was in Poland.
And that was in 2014.
That was just after the Jennings loss.
Yeah, so he's done nothing to deserve this fight.
I mean, that version of Adamek isn't very good, though.
No, sure.
2014 Adamek, yeah. So.
His nickname's The Pin.
And how tall is
I
Szpilka?
don't get it. You're going to get knocked down. The Pin. He's 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's small.
Yeah, Deontay's going to tower over him.
He is my southpaw brethren, but I'm not picking him now.
Nah.
Oh, he's got 15 KOs. He's got a 71% KO rating. But, I mean, like Leon says, just looking at the guys he's fought, he couldn't knock out Brian Minto, who fucking Anthony Joshua's last opponent knocked out. Just had a brain freeze.
Oh, yeah.
Dillian White.
Dylan White. He knocked him out.
Joshua Parker knocked him out.
Yep.
And
another easy fight for Wilder. I've got Wilder knockout.
Yeah, but I don't think there's such a thing as an easy Wilder win, unfortunately.
Nah.
He always gets touched,
Yeah,
whether a fight is easy or not.
but
I think Wilder will take him out in 3. I'm picking 3.
you going that? I was going late. I was going about 9. I thought he was going to struggle again.
No, this is Bomb Squad, man. This is Bomb Squad.
It's not.
Bums.
Brian Jennings knocked him out.
In the last round.
Was I think a technical knockout in the
Last
10th
round,
round.
yeah. I remember that fight, watching that fight. The funniest thing about that fight and the whole build-up, you know how they kind of go to Jennings and get his backstory. They went to Szpilka and his backstory is basically he was like a football hooligan and he started to box and that was it. Like not much of a story, to be honest.
Not a nice story, that's
Exactly.
really horrible story.
I mean, he's done well to get to where he is, so hats off to him. I mean, I'm sure he's a warrior, but if Brian Jennings is stopping you, Brian Jennings is stopping you, then fucking Wilder's probably going to knock you out. Probably.
I was talking to my boy Kevin Horn and he was saying, you know, the Polish really come out in New York and this is at the Barclays, so I think there's going to be grimy in there.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm not going. I don't want to get murked. You know, even though I'm neutral, they'll probably peg me as one or the other. So I certainly don't want to put myself at risk.
Shit. Yo, Dan, when we meeting up to go to a fight, Dan?
Huh?
When we meeting up to go to a fight?
Well, fuck, man. If Conor ever fights in Ireland, I'm going there. But let me see. Fuck it, man. What's the big fight coming up? I'm not going to Frampton Quigg, unfortunately.
No, none of us are. We couldn't get tickets.
Right, you guys couldn't even get tickets.
No.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Shit, I don't know, guys.
Brook can happen, son.
Yeah, if Brook
Brook
happens,
yeah.
I'm down to go for that, definitely.
Chemo's coming out to that as well if that happens, he said.
Okay. Yeah.
That's got to happen. They surely that's the only fight those two can
No,
have.
that's going to happen this summer. I think that definitely has to happen this summer.
Hey,
Has to.
Leon, if Conor McGregor fights in Croke Park, are you coming along? With me, Cam is going to go?
Yeah, I'll go just for the chill, Leon.
I'll go as well.
I'll go, but don't have to buy me a ticket. I'll just meet you after the fight.
Come.
No, I'll come. I'd come to that.
I run the
Cheap
game.
bump fight.
This is the thing.
Did you guys have any
I run the game of
comments?
boxing.
or thoughts about that little rift between Conor and Floyd? Any opinions or thoughts?
No one cares. No one should care. It's a fucking minefield what Floyd started talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I was going to go and look at kind of racism within the media in the US, Floyd's not the person I'm going to ask.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask someone else who knows about this stuff.
I think,
and
honestly,
Conor's an idiot as well, so fuck both of them.
I think the Reese card would work against any other white guy apart from an Irishman, because if you look at the history of Ireland...
Yeah, exactly.
There
treated like
was,
shit, didn't they?
there was just as many, well, almost as many, not quite, almost as many Irish slaves in America as there was African Americans.
They used to be signs in the windows of hotels and all over the UK back in the 50s and 60s, and it said, no blacks, no Irish. You know, they haven't had it easy, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is a fascinating conversation, but
those two races, you know, it's a whole minefield. Get me out of here. I'm gonna blow myself up.
The racism coalition.
Not getting involved.
Yeah, it's just a political minefield, so we'll just step the fuck out of that.
Get away.
Let's do it. Yep.
But I'd love to see Floyd fight McGregor. I think McGregor would probably... it depends what discipline it would be on, wouldn't it?
Well, of course. Hey, I always said for the longest time, if Conor ever fought Victor Ortiz in a boxing match, I'd pick Conor.
Yeah, but Floyd would beat the shit out of him in the boxing.
Oh, of course. Come on.
Destroy him, wouldn't he?
Come on, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, can't say it. We gotta admit, Floyd's a fucking incredible fighter. So
I thought it was quite good that McGregor said that I run the game, and like Floyd doesn't draw anything. Like his last pay-per-view bombed.
Yeah.
Just like shut it.
Yeah.
I drew $1 million.
Yeah, but that's after he smashed every record that's ever been set, so I don't think he's that worried.
Good point.
Basically, if those two fought, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
Oh my god,
that'd sell through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should just fucking do it and take the money and run.
The King of Dublin.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like Floyd says, I'm just happy because Conor is actually fighting a beast. You know, in his next fight, he's fighting an absolute animal. Whereas Floyd, it's like, you know, hey.
He's fighting an actual animal like a fucking squirrel.
Yeah, and I don't know. Let's just not talk about that too much. But I'm just trying to look through boxing scene. It looks like Manny Pacquiao hired a firm to audit Top Rank, which I found pretty interesting.
What's that?
He's after his money, isn't he?
Yeah, he hired obviously an independent firm to audit Top Rank's finances. So
that's been kicking about for a while, that story.
Yeah, it has, but
it's like that's a fight hate story. I don't know if it's actually true now, but I mean, I remember back in the day that Fight Hype used to say, Top Rank owe Manny all this money and this shit.
Good source to Fight Hype. Can't believe anything those guys say though. Can you?
No, not really.
They're a political pawn.
They probably film in fucking Floyd's basement.
They're just not journalists. They're not journalists, so they're discredited.
I mean, shit, if we want to talk about journalistic integrity in boxing, I mean, look at the top names. Eli Sekback?
Eli Setback.
He's a fucking moron, man. I finally got to meet him in person this past week. I didn't think he was as dumb as he portrays himself on YouTube, but this guy's a fucking moron.
He's full retard.
Yeah. I kind of felt bad. I didn't know if he had, autism or if he had Down syndrome. I didn't know, so I didn't really.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
To him, but
how fucked up is boxing that it's the one sport that I don't have any respect for most boxing journalists. I'd rather listen to podcasts like this or other fans' podcasts. They have much more integrity, and that's the only sport you'd say that, wouldn't you? Only our sport would have the bummiest journalists.
I agree.
Yeah.
What did Ellie
It's
back?
shocking.
What did Ellie back say to you, Dan? Did he say, "Oh, here it is, Daniel Lim, the great boxing person"?
No, I just saw him interviewing other people. So
What were you
he's
doing in Robert
just
Guerrero's gym?
no, certainly not Robert Guerrero's gym.
That's the only place
Absolutely
I've
not.
seen film.
Yeah, he's just the questions that he asks is it's not only is it so moronic, but they're leading questions. So there's only one right answer to the question, you know. And if you respond the otherwise, you say, "Oh, I don't agree with that." Like he hates UK fighters so much. You know, he hates Tyson Fury. He gives no credit to Fury, and he just shits on people who don't give him any access to his to their gym. So he's just a complete farce.
But like you just said, you thought he might have been slightly mentally ill, so
Yeah,
whatever, man.
he might have some social disorder. So
It's like
That's
I was
horrible, but he's put himself out there, so he's a
Right.
dick.
I talked about this with Lucky on his shows, and I was like, Ellie Setback, he just gives guys affirmation, and just like compliments.
yeah,
And there's no, but usually when you do an interview, it's like the compliments lead to like a tough question.
right.
You know, you can't just ask a tough question right from the jump, because then you'll just get told to fuck off. It's kind of like, oh, you're a fucking great fighter, but a couple of fights ago you got fucking rocked. That's what I would do. But Ellie Setback's just like, nah, you're a great fighter.
Yeah.
How are you?
When he goes up to Broder, he's like, Broder, how many millions of dollars of jewelry are you wearing right now? Oh, you look great. Adrian Broner, 4-time world champion. You're going to go down in the history books. And then that's the end of the interview right there.
What colour is your Bugatti?
Hey, Floyd, how many Bugattis do you have? Oh, if Floyd is a good person, he hands out turkeys on Thanksgiving. And that's it. Ellie Seckback reporting.
And you can follow us on Twitter. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well,
Mark in the chat said that Ellie Setback is legit. Okay, cheers, mate. I like Mark, but I mean,
Legitimately what? Legitimately a
Like
weird, creepy guy who hangs around gyms filming men. Yeah, he's legitimately.
he's got hustle.
you know what? I hate that term, man. I don't give a shit about hustle. If you suck at what you do, I don't care how fucking hard you hustle, man.
Oh, Mark's saying it's at basketball, nothing, not journalism.
Alright, okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, man.
He's a good dunker.
Yeah.
All right, boys, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Leon, you got any final thoughts for us?
No. We did an rest in peace for David Bowie, but also for Lemmy as well. I'm a big Lemmy fan, and we've lost two in 1 week. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm a huge David Bowie fan.
Yeah, it sucks.
I think people are going to really realize just how much of a impact he's made artistically. Because even after his heyday, after the age of what I think he was, how old was he when he passed away?
69.
69. In his 50s, like late 40s, early 50s, he did some amazing artwork that people don't really gloss over too much. But I had the chance to look through some of his art installations last year and in Boston, and I was just so impressed by him. Like, he's a pretty amazing guy, and he's just so talented in so many different fields. He could act, he could sing, he could perform. So it was just a true artistic savant by every means of the definition.
Yeah, he's one of the most important artists this country's ever produced, and yeah, it's a shame.
Yep, fucking Labyrinth.
Very well
Awesome
said.
movie.
One of my favorite movies of all time, right there.
Yep, very well said, Liam. Very well said. You got anything to say, Drew?
No, that's it, man. I echo everything that Leon and Lim said about David Bowie. Rest in peace, and Lemmy.
Yep.
And good show. All the best.
Cheers, Drew.
Yeah.
Liam, you jumped on late. You got anything else you want to add? Final thoughts?
No, man, just the David Bowie thing really hit me because I completely forgot, as terrible as this may sound, I forgot that he passed away because I just, I had a flight this morning that I just landed in, but fuck, that's one of the deaths that certainly got to me because David Bowie was someone I really looked up to, so it's going to suck, man, because he's been in so many good different movies and different artistic ventures, so rest in peace to David Bowie, and hopefully this upcoming boxing year isn't going to be as unfortunate as his passing.
Thank you, Lim. Again, rest in peace, Mr. David Bowie. I want to thank all the boys that jumped on the show today, all the people in the chat, and all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the number one flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically bun you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great.
Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want one portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.